If you have ever tried to take a screen, an iPad, a phone, a switch away from a child mid-video, it is like defusing a bomb. And it is like with maybe one hand tied behind your back or being blindfolded and yet being screamed at the whole time. If screen time in your house has become scream time, then this video is for you. I want to talk about why it's so hard, why it matters, and what you can actually do that doesn't involve moving into the woods. So part one, why does it matter? Who cares, right? Like, it keeps the kids quiet, keeps them entertained. We're in summer when this video is being recorded, and maybe it's all you got. And so I just want you to know, like, screens are not evil, but they are designed to hijack the dopamine, and they are designed to be addictive. The younger the child, the more we're seeing that, the more we know that screen time is dysregulating. It's like giving a preschooler a triple espresso with flashing lights. I mean, it really lights up the brain. The research shows that more and more kids are displaying screen-related anxiety, more and more screen-related rage, and social disconnection, even though they'll tell you, like, all my friends are online, right? If you have your kids that don't have any real in-person friends, this is what I hear a lot from the parents. Your kid does not need a digital detox because they're bad. They need it because their nervous system is overwhelmed and they're glitching, and so they need some help here. And a digital detox is kind of what we're going to talk about on, like, what you can actually do and why we want to do that. So I just want you to keep in mind, though, like, none of this is about your child being bad. We're not even actually really talking about the meltdowns. Like, I have parents that come to me and they tell me that their child is having these rages that you know, I've worked with parents that have been really hurt by their kids. And most of the time it is around screen time. So it's just something to be aware of. Like, you know, even kids that I've worked with, when we start to introduce screens again, that if there's another altercation that happens after we've done so much work, it usually has to do around the screens and a parent trying to get the screen away. So what we're going to do about it is, first I want you to just start with yourself. And again, this is not to guilt you, not to shame you or anything like that. But if you're scrolling through Instagram and you're yelling at your kids to get off the tablet, your kids have noticed. And look around when you're having family time. Is everybody sitting on the couch on their devices? When you travel in the car, is everybody just kind of in their own world? And I just want you to notice that and start with that, and notice how much you're doing that. I found myself doing it anytime things would get kind of tense. Like, I just, would pick up my phone and want to be doing something else. I was still listening and I felt like I was still engaged, but it was like to diffuse or something, and realizing that I have better skills than that. I can do better than that. So you want to be a model, and it's not about shame. It's just about awareness. Right now, just be aware. That's all I'm talking about. The other thing that you're going to want to do is you're going to pick one rule first. So maybe the rule is going to be no screens before school, or no screens at the dinner table. You might set a 30-minute limit using a visual timer. You don't need a color-coded spreadsheet of rules. You're just going to start with one that you can actually enforce. Some people will do one day a week that is a no screen day. It's family day. We're doing family games or whatever. So don't feel like you have to, do the whole thing at once. The third thing that you're going to do is you're going to expect and plan for the meltdown. Normalize the withdrawal tantrums. They're not being bad. Their brain is adjusting, and it's loud and it's messy, but it's not forever. The other thing that I really encourage you to do in even kind of avoiding the meltdowns is you want to be really clear about that off switch, and don't reach into their space, like taking it away from them or physically trying to force that. And if you're having problems with aggression and violence, like we really need to talk, because this is not something that I can just tell you in a 15-minute video how to not get hurt, but I want you to really be aware that a lot of stuff happens around this. So we're expecting it and we're planning for it, but just realize too, like this is part of it. It's very much like detoxing from anything else, and there's a lot of reasons why people do that with protection and help. You're going to set the stage about it before you do it. We're making a change because we love you and we want our family to be stronger, and it's not because you're in trouble. If you make it tied into like you're grounded, you're not getting other things done, you're in trouble in some way, and so we're taking the phones away or the screens away, you're setting yourself up for disaster. But if you make it about, this is something we're going to all work on, and for kids the rules are going to be different than for adults, and here's the rule. But again, like, be aware of yourself and when you're using your screens, when it's family time, or when you've said it's not supposed to be used. So redirect with a plan, have a schedule, know what you're going to do instead. I like to have, a certain amount of time that is for screens, and the rest of the time is we're doing these other things. And if they need music or something like that, there's other options that we can use. With other ways that you can redirect is the more, like, if you're replacing screen time with more time with you, even teenagers crave that, especially in today's world. So we're not just telling them, like, get off your screens and go play by yourself. We may get to that where they can do that, but at first we're surrounding this with family time. Plan for what you're going to do if there's a big meltdown. And again, plan to not be in a place of aggression and violence in all of that. I also, number 4 is recommend, using humor and play as tools. So, and this depends on the ages of your kids, but you can create No Screen Ninja Challenge, who can go the longest without using a screen. You can make up a goofy screen time dance when it's time to turn it off. Use visual timers. Don't be afraid to get silly with it and to be expressive, but also to make it part of, we're all working on this. If you have one kid that's grounded from screens and everybody else can have screens, you're going to have some struggles. And I did a whole video on, like, why grounding kids from screens doesn't work, and so look that up on why that it's just not as effective as what we're talking about here. So part 3 is the long-term gains. Is, after the dust settles, this is what I see, this is what parents are seeing, is you're going to have more calm, way less chaos, you're going to have more eye contact, you're going to have kids that, believe it or not, they may start reading, they may, you'll see the creative side of them come out again, you may see better family times, more interactions, you're going to see way less rages. They are going to sleep better, which is also going to make for less rages and better days. Kids that are doing better in so many areas of their life because of the limited screen time. And I tie it in directly. More connection, more of kids asking questions and journaling and all of the good stuff that we even know that we should be doing more. I know for myself that if I wasn't on the screens as much, I would be reading more. I was always been an avid reader, and I fool myself sometimes and think, oh, I'm reading this article on the phone or whatever. But there's something about physically having books. I have families that go to the library now, or they order books and they are excited when the order comes in. I mean, it's just amazing what it does for that part of the brain and the creative part of the brain. Kids that are using their imagination and making things, and they start to play better. The long-term gains are huge. And you can't know it until you try it, because at first might not feel calm when you're first setting this up. It's like, oh, I don't know how I'm gonna make it. Like I've had so many parents that tell me we cannot get through the morning routine if I don't use screens, and they're used as a bribe or as a treat, or that's how the parents get ready, is the kids are on a screen. And it's okay to just have limits and have times when it's, no, we're not going to do this. And if the more structured and careful you can be about it, as far as, not having it happen just with no rhyme or reason, and just periodically, like, you're just like, no, and then you wonder why they're upset. Remember, this is like, they really have to detox from it. And so, but the long-term gains are great and well worth it. It's not about being anti-screen. It's about pro-regulation of the nervous system, and that's really, really what it's about. So I also just want to tell you, I just want to reassure you, I guess, that if it feels hard, it's because it is. And it's not just your kid, it's the system that we're all swimming in. If you've done the program, or you've heard about the 12-week program, we do have a time period where we're just no screens for the kids, and we're totally detoxing, and then you can really, we do that right off the bat. We don't play around with it. It's just right off the bat, because we have to get to kind of a better baseline, and then we can add things in. So I just invite you to try one small step this week. I also want to tell you about this program that it's not really a program, but it's a tool set that a friend of mine has, and it's called Reset. It's a Reset Tech Kit, and it's with Navigating Tech Family. And so I'm going to just, and in this kit, it gives you, some of the suggestions that I've given you here. It talks about what's going on with screens and what it's doing to your brain or your kids' brain. And it encourages you as a family. It has some journals in it and some other things some games that your family can do to just get you started. And so it's a great resource. If you want to know more about that, drop a comment and I can get you those resources. I just, again, I want to reassure you that this is a challenge. It's not just you or your family or your kids. It is a really big challenge. And so try one small step this week, and then just remember that your child's behavior is not personal. It's behavior is communication, and we want to help their brain to come back online. In fact, that's another benefit of this is communication increases so much when we have just a limited amount of screen time, or set apart times to connect, and we can work on social language and inter-family relational language, and it's so much less of just kind of shutting down or shutting off and just zoning out and not really dealing with each other. So it's really a chance for you to help your child's brain to come back online, and no tech support is required for that. Like you can do that. And if you want help to doing this without just feeling like you're kind of white knuckling it, the Healthy Foundations Family Program is a 12-week program where we guide you through this every step of the way. It's not just about the tech, it's about all of the things. If your child is extremely, aggressive, you're dealing with meltdowns that are lasting, feels like all day long or hours, and destruction, all of that, then the 12-week program is the best place to start. Other than that, like, there's other coaching packages that may be really, really helpful, so you don't feel alone in it, and that you have the help and support you need. You may be able to start with just a toolkit. You may want the toolkit and the 10-week coaching deep dive package. So go to the website, parentingchallengingkids.com, and look at the different coaching packages that are available to you, and set up a call, and we can talk about this, and I can help you see which package is going to be the best for you and what's going to work the best for your family. So just remember, you don't have to do it alone. You have someone in your corner, and your child's behavior is not personal.